We live in a stressful world. We've got bells ringing, alarms going off, cell phones going, deadlines, commitments, more and more to do every day. And it's just attacking our sympathetic nervous system. Our fight or flight response is constantly being activated. It's bad for our health, it's bad for our relationships. It's a constant barrage of stimulation. The solution to this? Meditation. I personally have had a massive breakthrough in my life after starting to meditate just a couple of years ago, and I don't even meditate that much. I want to share with you the analogy that really brought home to me why I needed to meditate and why it was something that I could master on my own. There's a book called Already Free by a man named Bruce Tift. He talks about imagining that your brain is like dominoes being set up, like dominoes in a row set up. You know, if you've ever seen one of those things where you knock a domino over and they all fall down, right? And so Bruce talks about meditation. If you meditated in the morning, it's like pulling apart the dominoes so that you knock one domino over and it just lands. And it doesn't necessarily knock the next one over or the next one over. It stretches out the dominoes so that you drop the milk in the morning, you go, oh, I dropped the milk. And that's it. That's all there is to it. It's not this huge thing that leads to the next thing and the next thing. And so I tell you this because it doesn't take a whole lot to see that benefit of meditation. In fact, about 20 minutes a day is plenty. But they say if you're too busy to do 20 minutes a day, then you need to do 40 minutes a day. So before you even get started, I have a question for you. Are you someone who likes to build things up slowly, or you do big sweeping change all at once? It's relevant because we want to align this new strategy with how you naturally operate best. So for me, I'm someone who likes big sweeping change all at once. So I set aside this long 1.5 hour, sometimes 2 hour chunk of time in the morning where I know I have plenty of time to get my meditation in and all the other things I want to do. Now, if you're someone who builds up slowly, then you might instead say, all right, I'm going to start with 5 minutes tomorrow and every other day for the next month. And that might work really well for you. So you've got to decide what works well for you. The second thing is to consider getting a support system in place. Maybe asking a friend for accountability, obviously your most reliable friend, not your flaky friend, and seeing if you want to do a buddy system and then check in each day, like, did my meditation? Check. So having a support system can be really, really effective. And then the third thing that really supported me was having technology. And so the gadget that I found that supports me with meditation is called a Muse headset. So it sits on your head and it measures your brain waves and it gives you feedback in the form of birds chirping when your brain waves at their most calm. So these are 3 things that you can think about before you get started meditating to help support your brand new meditation practice. Now let's talk about actually meditating. So you don't need technology, you don't need a Muse, you don't need any of those things. They can help, but meditating at its simplest is just breath. It's just slowing yourself down enough to pay attention to the breath coming in and going out. And so let's try it together. Let's just play. I personally like to put one hand on my heart, not on my microphone, and one hand on my abdomen or my belly. And then I like to close my eyes and just breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and then out through your mouth as if you're blowing through a straw. And then what you can do is pay attention to the air as it goes in through your nostrils. Just feel the coolness of the air as it enters your nostrils. And then feel as it exits through your mouth as if breathing through a straw. And keep doing that. And then another thing you can do is start to count. And counting can really help you stay on track. And the moment you notice that you've gotten off track, you can just bring your mind back to the count and to your breath. So just paying attention to your breath and counting in 1, in 2, and do that 4 times and then start over. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's that simple. And if you find yourself forgetting and going on to 5 or 6 or 7, just let it go and bring it back to 1. That is the simplest technique for meditation that you can possibly try. And there are plenty of other techniques with mantras and guided meditations, but all of that, though it's great, is not necessary. Meditation, all it is coming back to the breath and staying present and focused in this moment. And then the moment you notice that your mind is wandering, just bringing it back to the breath. Your mind will wander. That's what your mind does. That's what it's designed to do. There's nothing wrong with that. And part of the biggest challenge of meditation is forgiving yourself and being compassionate and letting go when your mind does wander, and just remembering to come back to the breath, back to the count, back to your center. Meditation is just one piece of an overall self-care strategy. Go ahead and check out my video, What is Self-Care, and why it's important to learn more about that.